This weekend I was watching this Iconic Auctions, and they had one car really caught my attention. They had a beautiful red, guard red 996 Turbo S manual. Okay, beautiful car, guard red, and it seems like a deal. It's expensive for 996s. 996s are still, in my opinion, it counts for nothing, super underappreciated, right? I've had two, and as cars go, they are really nice cars, okay? Super easy to work on. Like, you shouldn't be scared of working on them. You can do a lot of stuff on them. Parts are not criminally expensive, and they are like the crossroads between, the new and the old. You might know, oh, the lights, get over it. The lights are what they are, right? The back end, the rear three quarters, especially on a turbo, the rear haunches, the rear of that car is stunning, right? Inside, they're pretty simple, not too much screens, still got nice dials. They're not a 997, like, I will admit. A 997 is another step up again. The most beautiful modern Porsche, right? Water-cooled Porsche, the 997. Like, they're never going to top that. Like, this 991 and 992, forget about it, right? They are not beautiful cars, especially 992. They are like the Gem 1 991 GT3, I think, is a 991 GT3 RS are nice looking cars, and then after that, Porsche have lost their ways and gone to like silly street of nonsense cars. But this Turbo has got a nice red interior. It's got red plastics, red center console, red on the handles, and there's no scratches on it. Also, you're looking at it, and it's a nice neck, 16,000 miles. It's got carbon pack, super desirable. Also, it's got the new stereo in it, and it's had a ton of money spent on it. This car had obviously been in storage for years and years, and it's had stacks of receipts. It's got sports seats, painted backs, like a great spec here. And I like the red wheels, I'd have the whole thing in red. I wouldn't just do the centres. It's got carbon, it's got everything. It's like a dream spec, okay? It sold for, where are we at? £61,875. That's including auction commission, right? Seems like a lot of money for a 996, but think about what you get in Porsche Turbo world for that. I'm not excluding the 997 because, again, another step on. But here we're on a manual turbo 911 and a Turbo S, right? The Turbo S has been so devalued by the 991 and the 992, okay? 996 Turbo S only available 2005, final year, okay? 6,000 units, 600 units worldwide, okay? Right-hand drive, UK delivered, okay? 80 manuals, 38 tips of 118 total cars delivered to the UK, okay? 80, okay, so let's just say in the UK, 118 Turbo S's in the UK. That's it, okay? 600 globally, right? 991 and 992, they sell more Turbo S's than Turbos. I remember a few years ago I was in the dealer and I was with somebody and we were looking at a 991 Turbo S, really nice girl in the dealership, and she's like, we were just there looking at the Turbo, and she's like, get Turbo S, and like I can't remember the finance numbers, but the down payment and the monthly on it was like super attractive. I was like, whoa, this is not a lot of money realistically for what you're getting, because you're thinking Turbo S, wow, Turbo S. But this is when 991 first came out, okay? And you're like, wow, that's a really good deal. But now we're, 10, 12 years on from that, right? I've got the numbers here for the 991 Turbo and Turbo S production. This is the US sales, okay? 2013 Turbo S, 113, Turbo 13. 2014 Turbo S, 1,395, Turbo 447, 2015 Turbo S 965, Turbo 462, and the last year 2016 Turbo S 354 and Turbo 162. So in 2 of those years, in 2014, they've doubled the number of Turbo S's sold in 1 year than all of the Turbo S's made for the UK. You know, and like the combined total of all the Turbo S's, they're like 2 and 3 times more Turbo S's sold than Turbos in the 991 in America. That seems crazy. Like, how do you obviously Porsche is making printing money, right? But like, that totally devalues any collectability going forward of a Turbo S, and it's like that falls back onto the older cars. Like, people are seeing this, oh, Turbo S's, I see them everywhere, not really aware of how special this 996 Turbo S is, let alone the 993 or 930 are going back. You know, this Turbo S was something special, and now it's just like, oh, you want centre locks, you got to get a Turbo S. Like, who even wants centre locks? Like, on a turbo should be the classic car, not the sporty car. And it just seems like these cars are. This red car that was for sale at the weekend, to me, looked super undervalued, you know, especially in red. I would love a red one. I had a black turbo and I have a silver GT3, but I love red cars. Like, 61,000. I sold a turbo, manual turbo convertible for 55,000 euros recently. So, and it had 138,000 kilometres on it. That was in Spain, granted, and it's a totally different market to Britain. But £61,000 for that Turbo S with 16,000 kilometres on it. And, you know, it's just had a ton of money spent on it, right? That's a nice car. And it's like, it doesn't really matter how much money's been spent on it. Somebody's going to stick it in their garage and not really drive it anyway, because the mileage is so low. But that's a great car. Turbos, they just jump out their skin. Manual also, like, once we're getting into 997, especially the .2, how many manual turbos are there? How many manual Turbo S's are there? Did the Turbo S in 997 come in? Another point about the 997 also that we have to remember is it's beautiful, right? The turbo in the 997 is beautiful, but it has one of the most horrendous set of wheels Porsches have ever made on a top model. Like, the wheels on the standard 997 turbo are, for me, the worst modern Porsche wheels. Like, I don't know, the 991 turbo wheel's pretty ghastly too, but the 997 turbo wheel, especially if they've got the spokes painted black or the centre spokes painted black, look horrendous. This one looks okay in the silver, with the silver, but it's a really, after so many classic wheels, to put that wheel on, it's, you know, garbage. That's why the 997 Turbo S, with the first time we saw the centre locks, that was a nice wheel. It didn't need to be a centre lock, but that was a really nice wheel compared to the standard car. Right? Definitely, that's a big difference in the 997. But also, you know, the Turbo S was never available in a manual in the 997, only in the 996, only PDK, which obviously is amazing. But, you know, people complained about, you know, if the turbo is the ultimate, then it's the ultimate to have a manual in also, isn't it? You know, it's what you want. If you're having a Porsche, I know everybody's all like PDK and stuff now, and, you know, and like the newer GT3s, I'm sure, like, it is nice on track having a PDK. I can see the allure of it if I've got an RS or a GT3 and I'm only using it on the track. To have a manual or have a PDK, like, manual's nice on the road, but PDK is nice on the track. But, you know, and how many 997 turbos .2 were PDK? Obviously the 9971 in the Tiptronic is, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that engine in anything, that gearbox in anything. But the PDK is a big difference for the 997. But to me, it's still got to be a manual. You know, like, try one. It's like, it's too much fun. Collecting Cars sold one like the same week also, 68,000 dearer, 14,000 miles, so pretty much the same. So that red one is a really great deal. That car's in Aberdeen, I think. Yeah, which a lot of salt on the roads. Like I would take the red one before I would take the grey one from up north. I wouldn't be buying any cars from Aberdeen. Too much salt on the roads. But it looks like a nice neat car. But that's good money for those. And Turbo S's. This is like a Turbo S is still something special in a 99, in a 996, and obviously a 997. And then I was like, I'll just go to classics and have a look at what GT3s are doing, what they've been selling for recently. And like, people could be making money, right? People not making money, but people should be jumping on 996s a lot more. I'm not just saying this because I've got one, right? I stole mine, so like mine's not going anywhere. Mine was bought at a price that, you know, you're not buying a mid-level EV for now. So like that's a keeper because it's irreplaceable at the money I paid for it. But here, GT3 RS, 996 GT3 RS, £103,000, 16,000 miles. That seems like a hell of a good deal, right? And, you know, the RSs, I think, is the 996s, I don't think is sold the RSs in America. So, like, there seems to be money in it. But, like, when we're looking here, 58,000, 80,000 in America, 64,000. Like, who's buying who's going to spend £100,000 or €100,000 or $100,000 on a 991 GT3, right? When a 996 GT3 is out there. Forget about 997. They're just for value, right? And it's a death machine. There's no ABS, no traction. You know, it's a scary car. It's not like the Turbo is like driving an armchair and so easy to drive and confidence inspiring. You can, on the road, you can hammer the Turbo, like take it by the scruff of the neck and really drive it. On the road, the GT3 is a scary thing, especially around about where we live. It's like bumpy farm roads, a lot of subsidence. It's not a car for that. It's no fun. But again, then take it to the track. I took mine to Aragon, Motorland Aragon recently, and fell in love with the car again because I had just been driving it around on the roads recently, and I'm like, it's not a good road car. But then you put it on the track and like you have a smile on your face for 3 days because you're like, yeah, obviously, like, what kind of an idiot, like, obviously it's a car for the track, do you know what I mean? But it really is a car for the track. And they're just value, like, what is value? But like people, Porsches, and spending the weekend spending 80,000 and 60,000 on 993 convertibles and stuff like that. Like, you have to be out your mind to buy a 993 convertible when you can buy a 996 GT3 for the same money, right? Honestly, like, and they're low volume, and they're where it started. Like, the GT3 is such a thing, such a big thing, global phenomenon. Everybody wants a GT3. People want a GT3, no idea, like, this is not even a good road car. They'd be better off in a Carrera convertible, in a 993 convertible, than in a GT3. But for the value, look at this one here, April, 32,000 miles, £56,000. Like, try and buy a 993 for £56,000. Like, that's a good deal, right? And this really got me as well. This was in the auctions maybe 2 weeks ago. They did this Air and Water, and Broad Arrow had an auction, right? And they have a 991, it didn't sell, imagine that. A 996, 2001 Carrera 4 Coupe that's been modified, painted green. It's got a factory aero kit on it. It's got some 997 wheels on it, painted gold, and it's had the interior done in some tartan, right? It's wow, like it's a 996 Carrera 4 that's been painted, right? And then it no sold, right? It no sold at 65,000 USD before auction commission. 65,000, no sale. Who had the reserve on that? The reserve on that, it looks like it should be like a 30 grand reserve or something, and somebody's got it in reserve, no sale at 65,000. Like, that was crazy to me when I was watching that auction. It was one of the first cars out through when the auction started, and sometimes, like, I think they have like fluffer cars in these auctions where the first car out, somebody was on the phone bidding it up. Do you know what I mean? Just to get it going, because that's like, oh, look at this car, it's all modified, to California, and that. Then like, they bid it up to £65,000, £48,000, $65,000, bid it up to that for a 996 Carrera 4. Not even a 4S, not even a wide body. And the 996 4S is beautiful car, right? Nice. Again, got the wide body. They love the red strip. But this is just like a normal, standard, narrow body that's been resprayed. Again, how's that making it more expensive? And it's got the Carrera S. Yeah, Carrera S wheels that's on it. The engine's been rebuilt. There's an interior inserts on it. But honestly, that. I found that to be really weird, really strange auction car, right? The first one through, like, cause that's like, I know a lot of fishy stuff goes on at these auctions, right? And just weird cars and weird bidding and stuff like that. You watch enough of them, you're like, this is like, there's always somebody on the phone, like, oh, quick, we better try and get one more bid. Do you know what I mean? Get it over the line. But what kind of reserve was on that if it didn't sell at 65? That was strange. But go and buy a 996. Go and buy a 996. Honestly, like, they're not going to be around forever. And that seemed to be like some deals today. There was so many Escort Cosworths for sale at that auction, at the Iconic auction the other day, selling for more than that red Turbo, right? I'd like to know how many Escort Cosworths were built in total. Definitely more than 80, right? And just Escort Turbos are making Irish Cosworths, right? To clarify. But 10 years, 50, what's a better driving experience? A Turbo S or an Escort Cossie? Like, Escort Cossie is an iconic car and I would love one, right? But I wouldn't take one for all the tea in China over that red Turbo S.